those bikes there? No, they do not. There's not one.
Really?
There is an art to it, though. Matt Walker trains his guys on how to start and run and push off and all that stuff. Whoa, that one little kid had the wobbliest little start. And a clean start so far as 41 little bobbleheads working their way down that start straightaway. The helmets weigh so much with the little tired little necks.
Yeah, and the tiny mailbox font address numbers on the plates here make it very difficult to announce.
Lizella, Georgia, though, home of Donnie Banks.
Anderson Waddell doing it again. I think that's the second time he's had a whole shot.
I made that up. I don't think it's Donnie Banks' hometown.
Okay.
Oh,
we got a full-on interstate freeway jam up here.
Meep, meep. Look at that. Those kids trying to go up on the right-hand side.
Oh, trying to climb here at the Paristic Hall, trying to get up by the dunes.
The Blackwater 100 here, the number 34. There's Jeff Russell pushing those kids on through. The 54 just stuck all the way down to those rubber pegs. Davey Coombs giving them a hand out there. Oh, nicely done there. But I think it may be Waddell still out front on the 76, picking good lines, good line choice there. Your dad always tells you go inside, inside, inside on that PW. And one of the kids probably did, and everybody followed him, and they're just stuck.
That's true, yeah. Go inside unless there's 8 of them stuck in front of you. Then you go outside. And these kids always riding standing up because the suspension on these bikes is not that good.
No.
Is that the most positive way I could say it? So you've got to stand up all the way around for these bumps, even to the corners.
It's as good as next to no suspension could be, I think.
Yeah. Although I did point out, as I found out last year, that they did add oil to the forks. I think around 2015, they actually changed the forks on these bikes. And as I said, went from probably no oil to a little bit. And you can actually tell if you look at the forks, there's a little bit of it cups out a little bit.
Okay.
Where the slider is to hold that little bit of extra oil. So a little more dampening. Yamaha always pushing the envelope on technology with this 40-year-old motorcycle.
Can you set the sags on that double shocker?
And it doesn't have any rebound adjustment or a preload, anything.
Those are 2 trampoline springs. You can get them down at Ace Hardware, slap them on the back of the bike there.
Ballpoint pen shock springs on the back. The chrome springs.
Yes.
Make them look cool.
Mag wheels, you can pick those Kragers up, American Racing.
Also the one-sided swing arm. One side is a swing arm, other side is a drive shaft.
It's a worm drive, no chain.
Yep. And not legal as a stock class, but the hot setup for these things, if you're not racing here.
Turn it around, turn that piston around.
Turn that piston around, I didn't even know that one.
Yep.
Oh, I got to do that. Well, I'm not racing, my kid's not racing Loretta's, we're good. You can get this is actually based on, I think, a motor that Yamaha uses in a moped or a scooter, and you can get a different drive, a lower gear. It's called the QT50 or something like that.
The QT gear.
And it's a lower gear. These bikes have extra tall gear. Actually, you would think, well, why would they want a beginner's bike to have a tall gear? It makes it go faster. But it's to have less response. So you can make it snappier with the gear, but those are tricks that are illegal if you're riding a PW at home. But here at Loretta's, it's a stock class.
Man. This little guy's got the limo tent right here. What's going on behind that helmet?
Grayson Porco up to second. Remember him. He actually, my mistake, Porco had the whole shot in the previous Moto. That's right. It was Porco with the whole shot, and he had to fight his way back after making a bobble. Here, Porco is second early on, while Dell had the whole shot and already a big lead. Levi Letty, Brentley Latimer, and Jacob Mariner round out the top 5. He's a Mariner.
Looking for water. There's the 34 having some problem. That's a bummer. Posca.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Twist that chicken wing that bike.
Down, number 34.
Chicken wing that bike. That was good. Yeah, this 50cc classes, they are allowed to have, as they say, industry help. Saw a kid went down to the previous 4-6 Moto right out of the starting gate. He was okay, but he couldn't get his bike started. And Kevin, we were talking to Davey Coombs in the office yesterday about how every one of these bikes has a different technique to start it, and the track crew has to be aware of that. So with the Cobras in the previous class, you got to pick the bike up and you tilt it on its front wheel a little bit and then try to start it. And then the P-dubs are totally different. They actually have the left side kicker, and you got to know how that run start.
Hit the start button,
switch works also.
The e-bikes are different. They're all the different e-bikes start 2 or 3 different steps.
Yeah, they did actually. The track crew had to go through some training to learn how to start those e-bikes.
That's thinking ahead, though. I would have been like, all right, well, they're going to race on the track.
Oh, no, we don't know what we're doing.
I don't know how to start your bike.
Yeah.
Can I look online can you Google how to start an e-bike? Watch it.
Yeah, while it's happening. Well, the electric bike, maybe you could just have that. Have a Siri, Google, Alexa built right in.
Right there on the handlebar.
Yep. And the kid could ask,
hey Siri.
Alexa, how does my bike start?
Here's what I found.
Here's what I found on the web. And it would just be like
down here it would say, I'm sorry, I can't help you right now.
Yeah.
You have no internet service.
That's right. I'm having a bad connection.
Bad connection.
There's the number 19 of Cruz Anderson, Carter Chute, Braxton Woodring, all slugging it out with their little 6-year-old hands.
It's going to be that way someday with the technology of the bikes. You're going to have, you know, the Rockstar Huskies. They'll have Scuba Steve Westfall back in California watching the broadcast and then Bluetoothing through the internet.
Power curves.
Different maps.
Yeah.
Mid-race. Okay, he's in the back section of the track. Little Bluetooth, the hard pack map.
So it then comes down to just who your best engineer
The
back
engineers, yeah. Yep. They've actually had to, in the really advanced forms of racing, unlike this, say, like Formula One, they used to actually have radio-controlled shocks, and they would change the shocks depending on if they were in a turn and a straightaway, and they had to outlaw that. Can you believe
unbelievable.
that? Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yep. And that eventually got outlawed, and a lot of the other active stuff. And then, of course, they figured out a way to work around those rules. Well, they'll purposely make things flimsy, so when you go a certain speed, it'll bend to the shape they actually want it to be. Yeah, all kinds of trickery. Motocross a little bit better when it comes to that. It's always more rider than machine. So living in that gray area of the rule book, not the same as it is in the car racing. Here, we just take a bunch of stock P-dubs like we always have and go racing. And you can see who's got the style, the technique, the talent. Anderson Waldell with the lead right now. Grayson Porco, Levi Letty. They're going to complete their second lap here. Oh, more riders down in these literally frame deep ruts.
All the way to those little rubber foot pegs. There you go, my man. You're up and running. The number 90, he sat there for a bit. Who was that? The number 90 was, Braxton Woodring. He was running 8th.
Oh, man.
That's a big blow there. The 76 of Anderson Waddell. Looking good by the billboards. You heard us talking about Kevin Windham. He wanted to get an autograph there as he went by the billboard. He can actually get one from Windham. He's out there working the track for him. So we're down for our second lap. 3 minutes, 22 seconds for Waddell. Porco in the number 2 spot with a 3:27. Levi Letty with a 3:27. Brentley Latimer with a 3:30. And the crowd, you can hear folks yelling all over the racetrack.
So no change as we go through. Still Anderson Waldell and Grayson Porco now on the second lap of this one. Levi Letty still third. So no change in the order. See the race clock, top of your screen. 6 minutes and 53 seconds to go.
So clock management, not a thing just yet. If you're the dad, you're kind of watching the clock. You want that 2-minute drill not in effect just yet. We're not shooting threes here. We're still playing our normal triangle defense, offense. Not going man-to-man yet, forcing the press.
Yeah, you don't have that bad clock management. I mean, they always make fun of, they finally won the Super Bowl, Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs, yes.
What's his,
he's got the beard mustache. Also,
yeah, it looks like a walrus. Yes.
Andy
Reid. Yes, they always make fun of the poor clock management of Andy Reid, but he finally got it done. Yeah, so manage a clock here. Basically, just ride until the white flag comes out, and then go one more lap, and then the checkers, and then the race is over. That would be the advice.
Race to the checkers, not to the white flag. We had Kevin Windham up here earlier. He talked about, and we can follow up on that story because Timmy Ferry talked about that race too. So if you want to catch him up.
Yeah, that was awesome. So we had Kevin Windham up here. One of the famous stories at Washougal one year. Windham mistook the white flag for the checkered. He slowed down, and then Ferry came up and said, "Yeah, I could tell he was cruising, so I just slowly came up from behind so he wouldn't start thinking, wait, maybe it's a race." Kind of idled by him. And then I mashed the gas and took off before he could get me back.
Because Timmy had to act like the race was over, too, because he didn't want Kevin to drop in right behind him.
Yeah, he didn't want to give him the memo, like, wait, the race isn't over?
Yeah.
So Timmy just rolled up real quiet behind him.
Like, how would you even think to know that?
And then got on the gas. Like, somehow Ferry realized, I bet you he thought that was a checkered flag.
As slow as he's going.
These are professional. These are the two of the most experienced, savvy, Tim Ferry and Kevin Windham. And Grant Langston was winning the Moto, and he would have won the overall. But then Windham, because he accidentally let Ferry by, Ferry ends up winning the overall that day with a 2-2, and Langston was all celebrating like I did it. I went 3-1. Oh, this is a tough break for the 43. Looks like problems with the motorcycle, and he's bummed with the face on the handlebars.
That's going to be Caden Sedgwick.
Yep, looks like he's getting back into this one. He's not hurt. It's problems with the bike. Anderson Waldell continues to lead Grayson Porco and Levi Letty, and I'll be headed to the podium with these kids in just a moment. I'm going to show my kid all these videos of how these kids ride standing up. It's funny, these kids are about a year older than my kid, and they look like giants on their bike. That's the difference to being 5 and 6. They look huge on these P-dubs.
Now, is your son going to try to qualify for Loretta's next year? Have you even thought about that?
I hadn't thought about it really. I got a 3-pronged attack. He really likes BMX. He really likes the mountain bike. Really likes the GNCC. I don't know if I got the time.
Oh, he's a woods guy.
Oh, he raced.
Yeah, I know. So he likes the woods. All right, now I like your boy maybe a little better than you, man. Maybe a little bit better than you at this point.
You like him more than I like him, or you like him more than me?
I like him more than you.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. You might like him more than I like him. That's fair.
You still probably love him more.
I needed to convince him that woods was an actual race. All my kid wants to do is race, and if we run out of things to race, we're just doing running races in the parking lot. So I had to convince him that woods could actually be a race. Because it doesn't look like a racetrack per se,
right,
you know what I mean? Like he wants it to be lined in banners and all that. So when I first got on P-Dub, I'm like, yeah, here's a field, have at it. And he had really no interest. And I'm like, I don't understand. He talks and watches motorcycles all day. Why does he not want to do this? It didn't feel like a racetrack. It has to feel like a race.
I get it.
Just riding isn't fun. So the BMX track is his all-time fave because that literally is like a scaled down. It looks like a darn supercross track, but like backyard size. So that's his fave. And hilariously battling it out with Chad Reed's kids every weekend now, which is just the most ridiculous small
a Wygant beating a Reed. Who would have ever thought that?
Well, it only happened in the heat race. In the main, darn pace Reed gets them every time. And I'm talking one could start first and one could start last. And then by the finish, they are wheel to wheel, just the way it goes in racing, man. All right, that's enough about my kid who's not even in this race. Let's throw the spotlight on Anderson Waldell. Got that Stasic hole shot, headed toward the checkered flag here. Might be one more to go. Looking at that race clock. Grayson Porco second, Levi Letty third, Bruntley Latimer and Carter Shute fifth. Ow. I mean, my problem is in a normal year, I'm never even home on weekends. So there's not going to be a lot of time to be going to areas, regionals, or any other races. This year was kind of a gift that fell in my lap to be able to do all this.
He's getting big enough that you can start taking him with you, Jason.
I know, but taking him to the Dallas Supercross isn't really helping on your Loretta's qualifying and watching. Unless he can take the P-Dub out on the track and practice, I'm not sure. So this year was just a gift that kind of fell in everybody's lap as far as getting to spend more family time. I don't know. It might never happen again. Grayson Porco.
How's Tyler Rattray going to manage this? He's got a kid inside the top 10, Brody.
Yeah,
he's one of the
on the number
trainers.
28. That's his old number.
There's the number 16 as he goes down.
Uh-oh. I got to head down to the podium. Speaking of that, let's see if he can get it back up.
That's Grady Williams. He has got that thing back up and running as the laps continue to click off. There is the number 76. Waddell goes across the finish line one more time here in this 50cc 4-6 class. A lot of work keeping these little kids up and running. I wonder how many crashes we've had to pick these guys up from.
Well, closing moments of this one as we turn our attention to our leader here, the number 76 of Anderson Waddell, as we watch him traverse this final lap of racing. A 23-second lead over Grayson Porco. Levi Letty another 1.2 seconds back. Now Letty's been chipping away at that lead in the second place position of Grayson Porco for the last lap or so. We see it narrowed down now to 1.2 seconds. Bruntley Latimer for 20 seconds back in that fourth place position, and Carter Shute, dang it, 16 seconds back in that fifth place position.
Dag Jiminy.
Dag burn it.
Yeah, dag nabbit little Luke.
Wow. You know, I wonder if Waddell realizes what he's accomplishing right now at this.
That's impressive. A 23-second lead.
It is. That's huge.
Very consistent ride for him. Good form. Waddell on the PW here in the closing stage. He's got about a half lap to go, so that's about 6 minutes of racing. Not really. They're really turning. They're 3:23.
Yeah, 3:23, 3:28, 3:30 is the average lap time.
2:10, 2:20, whatever it takes.
Waddell, Porco, Letty, Latimer, Shoot, and then Cruz Anderson in the number 6 spot. Beckett, Utz.
Yep.
Everybody's nuts for Utz potato chips, right? Yeah. Jacob Mariner in 8th place, Cody Holmes in 9th, and Brody Rattray. I wonder if he is a part of the Utz empire.
Wow.
Utz chips empire.
He's rolling super deep out there, man. Got a 90-foot RV with potato chips flying out the doors when he opens them up. I got Lance in my pants.
Hey,
that's all I got.
We had a Rockefeller and a Forbes racing in the same race earlier this year.
Wow.
Yeah, little kids in the 50 class, and I got tickled on that one. I was like, a Rockefeller and a Forbes both in the same race.
Right. I had a Lewis and Clark earlier. Not as rich, but they did discover a good chunk of America's West.
Right. Wow. Speaking of discovering, someone is discovering some talent out here this weekend in this 4 to 6-year-old class. I bet the boys and all the brands are battling over who's going to get assigned this youngster to the next size 50cc class as he works his way up into the ranks here at Loretta Lynn's.
I know that sounds a little silly, but I guarantee you that is an eye-opening ride there, and the guys from Cobra might be, all right, we need to go talk to this kid, get him set up, see if he what direction he's going.
Well, I'm sure KTM's taking a look at him also.
Yeah,
you know?
why not?
Yeah.
It's what happens. This is where deals are made. And I'm not joking. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
You deliver out here, you get bikes delivered to your house.
Yeah, that's it. And you know, it doesn't happen to everybody. It's a far and few between thing, but there are those elite and great moments. And speaking of elite and great moments, Anderson Waddell taking the Moto 2 win here in the 51 4 to 6 Shaft Drive Limited at Loretta Lynn's, wrapping up this day of racing here at the 39th annual Monster Energy AMA Amateur National Motocross Championship at Loretta Lynn's. Grayson Porco due in about 20 seconds or so behind the leader as the checkers continue to wave. Porco followed by Levi Letty, Brentley Latimer in the number 4 spot, Carter Shoot in the 5th, then Cruz Anderson 6th, Beckett Utz in 7th, Jacob Mariner in 8th, Corey What's Up Holmes in 9th, and Brody Rattray rounding out the top 10. That's the way we see them here after 5 laps complete for our top 3 in. No changes through those top 3. Again, as it's Porco and Letty in 2nd and 3rd. They should be heading down to talk with Jason Wygant here in just a moment. Latimer and Shoot. There's Latimer in now, the 96 in that 4th place position, about 16 seconds back of Latimer, and should be a little quicker than that. Carter Shoot checking in here. And he does, and there is Beckett Utz also. Turning at 3:28, closing up to 1.4 seconds out of the top 5. So gotta say congratulations. He gets around Cruz Anderson and Brody Rattray moving up into an 8th place position. Braxton Woodring in 9th, and Bryson Devilbiss rounds out your top 10. Let's head down with Jason Wygant near the podium.
Yeah, thank you. And we've got our Stasic Whole Shot winner and our Moto winner, Anderson Waddell. Okay, tell me about that Moto, Anderson.
I got the whole shot, and I was kind of a little crazy on the first lap.
Did you crash, though?
No.
All right, good. Who do you want to thank?
My mom, my dad, Fly, A1, and Pirelli tires, and that's all.
Okay, Anderson Waddell, the Moto win. Let's hear it for him. Good job, Anderson.
Nice job.
I got to be real nice to these kids because in about 15 years, I'll probably be dealing with them at the pro level, and I need access. I need them to give me interviews. So I'm nice to them today. Hopefully they remember that tomorrow. Grayson, why don't you bring it on up?
Awesome job.
This kid's been up front in both motos here of the P-Dub class.
With Sloan. You see, she has the little one.
On the number 4, let's hear it for Grayson Porco. Yeah, Grayson. There we go. All right, man, how did that moto go? Tell me about it.
Good.
All right, who do you want to thank, buddy?
Mom, Dad, Belle, Expo and et al. And Clay.
Good?
Yeah.
All right. There we go. Grayson Porco, our second place finisher. All right. And a big crowd ready to salute the third place finisher, bronze medal for Levi Letty. Yeah, Levi, bring it on up to the mic. How'd your moto go, dude?
Good.
Who do you want to thank?
Bright Car Roofing, ProFlow, Midland Ford, Darcy Russo Mechanical, Gutter Works, Moto X, OGs, Fly, Dunlap, and Elusive.
Levi Letty. Yeah, Levi, great job. Lots of photos, lots of videos, lots of attention on the P-Dub class. That's what we'd like to see, a whole next generation of riders, and this bike grooming them again. That's it for racing here. It's already done. 3 days? 3 days of racing is already done? My mind is blown.
Turn your metal around, buddy. Turn it all that way. There you go.
That'll do it for us on the racetrack. I'll send it back up.
Over here.